Hello, this is Running Robert, and today we're going to be talking about the Quince Therapeutics QNCX first quarter 2025 summary. Today is the 20th of May, 2025, and the quarterly report came out late last week, so we are going to go over the bullish and the bearish parts of it and go from there. I generally follow small cap pharma. I do games. I do a little bit of everything. So if you like what I'm doing, hey, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot, and thank you. Disclaimer is I do own stock. I bought around $1.50. That is now not looking so great, but I feel like there's definitely room for improvement, and I am not changing my position. I'm an amateur investor, and any advice given should be followed up by your own due diligence, and any information given is valid for today, the 20th of May, and the slideshow will not be updated, but as we get new news or new quarterly reports, new slideshow. So let's go over the results. So the company had 31.6 million at the end of the quarter. The net loss was 15 million, but cash use was 9.6 million. R&D was 8, admin was 4.8 for about 12.9 total. We are not counting fair value adjustments for this. It's a paper exercise. It's worthless. We're not going to worry about it. The company does still have two $10 million trunks available from an EIB loan, and there's around $11 million in debt due in 2026, and only 1 million shares issued since the first quarter of 2024. So to summarize it, the company is definitely a little short in cash. They do have some options. I'm not worried about the 2026 debt because either the drug is going to be successful and we'll have no issue covering that, or the company is dead. And that's kind of what you're going for. So, the clinical trial. So, this is what dropped the stock. So, the company announced that it's discussing ending enrollment early. And this is because of cash, because the company said they would continue as planned if funding is secured. So it is a cash issue and a cash problem. This means there would be less patients, which means the study would have less power for statistical significance. We're going to go over why that's a big deal in the next slide. So top line data is early 2026. Positive notes. All 30 patients who have completed the trial have opted to be in the open label extension. That is very good when you are batting 100. That's kind of nice. The trial has mainly targeted 6 to 9-year-olds, and that's something else we're going to talk in this slide. So, what is AT? It's a neurological disease with most symptoms occurring between 5 and 10 years old, with the plateau afterwards. So this is one of those very interesting diseases because once you hit like 10, 11, the decline plateaus from there. There's currently no long-term treatment. There is treatment that you can take, but it is overall toxic to you. So, very simple. If they have something else they can take, they would take that. The point of this drug is to have a less active decline until the plateau phase. So that means you decline less, and then you get to the point where you're not going to decline anymore. So, previous trial did show statistical significance with a p-value of 0.016 in 6 to 9-year-olds. That is very important. And that's why we talked about 6 to 9 older. That's why power is very important for this trial. They were testing in all patients. However, there was an improvement, but it was not statistically significant for the entire population. So the p-value was 0.077. Needs to be below 0.05. So you can see the 6 to 9-year-olds easily hit the p-value. Not a problem. So that's kind of why the next trial has been more focused on that. And phase 3 is under a special protocol assessment. Business model. So we're just looking at rare disease pricing for the US, most likely between 200 and 400K. There's an estimated 4 to 5,000 patients in the US. So let's just look at that. 100 patients at 30K would be 30 million in total sales. Again, that's looking at the low part, and that's really why I'm investing, because they will easily get that amount of patients without really having to get a sales force. The company could partner, or they could go alone since it is a rare disease. Again, they have options for this. Again, for rare diseases like this, you don't need a large marketing force. So that 30 million in sales, or even 200 patients, 60 million in sales, that would cover everything that the company would need at that point. So the best that could happen is that they do hit statistical improvement for all age groups, approval in late 2026, and then very high sales very quickly. That's plus 100 million. Again, that's 333 patients out of 4 to 5,000. Already possible. The worst that could happen, the company fails a trial, or the company cannot get the drug quickly to market. So the drug passes, but then they get caught up in regulatory, which adds years sometimes to what's going on. So that is, really the worst. So summary, high risk, high reward. That is 100%. And I've said this last one, people need to be comfortable losing everything they invest on the stock. This is a gamble. We 100% know it's a gamble. That's why I'm not really distressed that I'm down, because I know that it's either going to be positive and head well back up, or it's going to die. One of the two. So I do keep a small position to help mitigate the risk. So I did not put a huge amount into it. This is just like a, gambling play. The market cap is 37 million. That I include in there because, again, if they can get high sales of 100 million or something quickly, that, we could be looking at like a 10 times market cap easily. So hopefully this helped give you some information so you can decide if you want to invest or not. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and I hope you have a good day.